For the gamers who love games, why wait for greatness? Xbox One is here. What's going on, guys? Bryce360 here for my gaming news and opinions all around you. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about Rise of the Tomb Raider. I also wanted to get into the whole media bias. Of course, we already know about, but from what I've seen on a lot of articles that have come out, and in the comment section especially, fanboys, Sony fanboys can't keep up. Like, they can't keep up with the positive news on the Xbox One. It's pretty crazy because, like, I remember back, like a year ago, we'll go back about a year, or even, like, we could go maybe even, like, 5 months after Xbox One launched. I mean, if there was one positive thing about Xbox, it would have so much dislike, so many terrible things to say about it, and there is just so many good things to say about the Xbox right now. The Sony fanboys can't keep up on those dislikes. They can't keep up on saying bad comments about these things. Now, from what I've seen, it's almost like the media's job, for the way the media feels, to actually downplay some of this stuff. If PlayStation came out with a lot of these new features that the Xbox is getting, it would be all over the place. It would be all positive. It would say Xbox is done. And for what Sony continues to show, they downplay it constantly. They say, it's for this reason, and they're accepting it, and they're showing games from way back when, like The Last Guardian, and now it's coming back, and they just showed basically the same thing that they showed several E3s back. Xbox continues to evolve, and we all know this. But before I get way off topic, I want to get right on to Rise of the Tomb Raider. Seen it at E3, seen the video, looks amazing. I like the new, you go out and you're walking in the snow and you get, the snow effects all over you. You got snow on her jacket, you got snow, when she's walking through the snow, there's footprints. When she enters the tombs, it looks like it's going to be a lot larger perspective. It looks beautiful. It looks better from the videos that I can see than the original, the last version that they made. And even the definitive, because it originally came out on the, the 360 and the PS3, and then they made the definitive version, then it, came out on the Xbox One, PS4, and also PC. But you don't hear anything about it. And when you do, the last time I went on N4G, it talks about, like, why Rise of the Tomb Raider is not going to be a good game. You see stuff like that, and you see, anything positive relating to something on Xbox. I mean, you go down the list, and of course, there's always going to be especially Sony fanboys are going to say something bad about it. It would be the best thing in the world if it was a PlayStation exclusive. They would be pumping that game up like tall hell. But since it's an Xbox exclusive, there's a lot of butthurt Sony fanboys. And I'm not trying to get down on the fanboys. I understand why. I mean, if Tomb Raider went to PlayStation and it was exclusive with a date we have no clue when it's coming to the other, my preferred console, I would be pretty upset. Am I going to go on other pages and downplay the game? No, it's a good game. I like the way they're moving it into the next generation, and it's solely designed for the Xbox One right now. It looks great. You can only say good things about it. It's going to be better than the last one. And that one, sold over, 9 million copies? And it looked beautiful. It was fun. I do wish on the other one that they added in a little bit more puzzling, the puzzler type thing. But supposedly on this one, they're focusing on that. They're going to have more puzzles, larger environments. Everything's going to be bigger. And it's not surprising because it's for a next-gen console. But you get continual hate. People getting completely upset about this game. And I'm reading this article here. It says, Xbox boss Phil Spencer, I want to give people a choice. Okay, and the first comment on the list is, a little late, pal. Okay, and then, of course, you have 20 disagrees, but then you have 83 disagrees. And this is what I'm talking about right here. The ponies can't keep up. They can't keep up with the positive of Xbox. There's too many articles out now, and it's too much of their time to get in there and say something bad. And then this guy right here said, better late than never, and then they gave 39 agrees and 7 disagrees. Of course it's better late than never. Xbox did make a mistake at launch. You know, they wanted DRM, which I don't think was a bad thing. But a lot of people didn't want that. Which is funny because now most of the stuff that we play is online or has to be online in some sort. So did it really matter? Not really. It didn't. And in fact, it may have been a better thing that we had it like a DRM thing. We probably would have gotten even better discounts on things. But people, especially Sony fanboys right now, are really upset that Rise of the Tomb Raider is an Xbox One exclusive currently this holiday. You know, and they'll downplay it. They'll say like, oh, we got Uncharted. Or they'll say, oh, we're going to eventually get it, which it has not been confirmed that it's coming to PlayStation. And if it in fact does, it will be a very long time. They think, oh, we're going to get in 3 months. It's not going to happen. Microsoft is publishing that game. If they're investing money, do you think they're going to allow it to come out on another plat like 3 months later? It's not going to happen. It will most likely come to PC. And of course, you'll have fanboys, well, I'll just play it on PC. Well, there's a lot of people out there that want to play those types of games on consoles. Fact. They don't want to play it on PC. I have a PC. I don't want to play Tomb Raider on my PC. I want to play it on the Xbox. I like the controller. Of course, I can use my Xbox One controller on my PC, but I just prefer playing on console for those types of games. It's going to be a great game. We all know this. From what I've seen, it looks good. We got Gears. Looks great. I played the Gears Ultimate Edition. You know, it's turning out to be awesome. We got Halo 5, which I am absolutely the most excited for it right now this year for that game. That game looks phenomenal. I played the beta. It was smooth. It felt polished thin. I couldn't only imagine like coming out a year later and then fixing things up, getting things going. Got new things like Warzone. That game looks great. It will be awesome. And they have that new SCUF. It's not a SCUF controller, but that Xbox Elite controller that's coming out, which is awesome. I'm gonna buy one. I know a lot of people are like, oh, $150. Yeah, it is a little expensive, but if you actually went on and checked how much those SCUF controllers are, it's a really good deal for the Xbox Elite controller. And I prefer actual licensed, official controllers for my system. They always seem to have better quality. And I've seen this, like some E3 videos people made and showed the Elite controller up close and how awesome it is. It looks nice. But ask yourself, this is directed to a Sony fanboy. Why downplay a game when you know it's going to be good? Why say things like, oh, this game is terrible, or I have this game, when you really want to play it? You know if it was on your system, it would be the best game in the world. Stop downplaying the good news about Xbox. And then especially this backwards compatibility thing. Oh, nobody wants backwards compatibility. Well, that's kind of funny. Everybody wanted backwards compatibility at launch. People still want it. I went on Facebook the other day and it talks about backwards compatibility and there was like 300,000 likes for it. Do you think people don't want it? It's perception, guys. People want backwards compatibility. Some people go, oh, well, Sony, they did the statistics on backwards compatibility and nobody played it. Nobody used it. They said they wanted it, but nobody used it. That's bullshit. Okay? Sure, I can see having a PS3 and not wanting to play your PS2 or PS1 games. That was a huge leap from a 360 game to an Xbox One game, or a PS3 to a PS4 game. Graphically, it's a little little bit, it's getting better. But right now, there's not a huge difference between a 360 game and an Xbox One game, or a PS3 game and a PS4 game for playability. And here is a big thing. Now, think about this. PS1 games and PS2 games, they weren't really too much online. They had some online games, but Xbox 360 games, most of those games that people want to play are online games that people are still playing right now. So if I fire up my Xbox One and go, I want to play a game with one of my friends that only has a 360, I'll be able to do that. That's what makes a difference. It's huge. And I heard somebody the other day talking about, oh, wouldn't that be awesome if games for gold, Xbox One owners got 360 games for free? I never really thought about that. That would be amazing. Imagine getting a free Xbox One game a month and getting a couple of 360 games a month because you have backwards compatibility. That would be a huge deal. But why downplay backwards compatibility when Sony shows their PlayStation Now, and that's like, oh, it's Xbox done because PlayStation Now, we can play all our old games. That's great. That's great, but your backwards compatibility, it's no good. You're only going to get certain titles. Really? Are you serious? Like, why would you say that? Why would you say that a service you have to pay for to play your old games and a service that is free with the games that you've already owned? That's just ridiculous. Stop being fanboys for a second. Stop hoping that Yoshida will say, oh, maybe eventually he'll go, oh, well, we're going to offer backwards compatibility. You think they're going to do that for the gamer? Hell no. You know how much money they've invested in PlayStation Now? They want to charge you for that service. Of course they're going to. He don't even understand what happened. He's probably back in some kind of cove somewhere. Oh, I can't believe Microsoft pulled this off. He was in amazement. This guy's freaking out right now. You think he's not? That shit's all over PlayStation Now. Straight up, guys. I'm just telling you the truth on this. They're both really good consoles. The PlayStation 4 needs more games right now. Better games launching this year. Xbox has a shit ton of games coming out this year. Even though people are complaining about E3 and how they showed mostly the games from last year, those games are coming out this year. Gamescom, they're going to show games coming out for next year. So, of course, for me, as an Xbox One owner, I'm very excited. Just because, our lineup for the beginning of the year was a little sparse, if you want to use that word. That's what's going around for the Sony PlayStation. I'm going to get a crap ton of games coming out this year. Not to mention a new user interface for the Xbox One, a completely new dashboard that's going to be faster, Windows 10 integration, DirectX 12, a lot of new stuff that we haven't even heard about, new IPs that are going to be announced and probably on Gamescom for next year. We're going to see Crackdown 3. Xbox, I know where they're going now. You can see where they're going. Where the hell is PlayStation going? And I'm not trying to just diss all over PlayStation. I would like to have a reason to own one. I have no problem buying I'm a multi-console owner. Right now, I have not had a reason to buy a PlayStation. Absolutely no reason to buy one. If they gave me a reason, I would. I would buy one. I'm not no corporate slave. Even though I prefer Xbox, if PlayStation had some awesome games that I really wanted, then I would go. And don't give me Shenmue 3. We have no clue when that's coming out or what it's going to be like. Or don't give me Final Fantasy 7 because it's not exclusive. I hate to break it to you guys. I know you guys hope it is. But if it said, first on PlayStation, they never said exclusive to PlayStation. So, just think about that for a second. Go through the list of what Xbox is coming out, how they're innovating, how they're listening to the gamers, what these controllers are coming out with. It's amazing, guys. I just don't understand why you can't just give them a high five or a friggin' pound or whatever. You know, you should be hoping right now that Sony pulls these moves off. Alright guys, thanks for watching.